Okay, so this is something that I honestly think will probably happen a little bit later down the line, but it's quite possible that if we do get a sequel for Super Mario Odyssey, the game will probably be called something different. But it would be nice to see a Super Mario Odyssey 2 because Super Mario Odyssey from 2017 was far better than it had any business being. It's been about 5 years since that game was released, and it was one of the best platformers of the teens decade. And there were so many things about it that was impressive, from the the level designs to the story to like the endings to I guess like features included in this game which wasn't included in previous Mario games, along with the fact that Nintendo was able to pull this off without including a two-player mode or without including Luigi for that matter. And you got to remember, like Super Mario 64 from '96 was one player only, and that was considered to be one of the best platformers of its time. And a lot of people consider Super Mario Odyssey to be the Super Mario 64 of the teens decade. And I honestly feel like this game was way more popular and ended up being much better than it had any business being. And I believe the game received mainstream media attention for how successful it was back in 2017 because this game came out shortly after the launch of the Nintendo Switch, and people have been doing nothing but praising it, especially considering the fact that now it's like the sixth best-selling game on the Switch console, and I believe it managed to reach over 23 million copies in sales. And as a lot of people know, Super Mario 8 Deluxe is the best-selling video game on Nintendo Switch, and that's a game that reached over 46 million copies in sales worldwide. But I do feel that Super Mario Odyssey is way too popular not to have a sequel, and I'm pretty sure this game is definitely going to have some type of successor or sequel or what have you, but it might be named something different. And if Nintendo do this, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo released a sequel for Super Mario Odyssey or a successor for it for their next gen game system, because I do feel that would be better business. And I do feel that, like, with every main Mario game that Nintendo released for each console, it's normally just like one Mario game, and they just released the next big Mario game for the following generation game system, probably with the exception of the Nintendo Wii, because we got Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for Nintendo Wii, which is one of the reasons why the Wii console was so popular, because there was just so many big games that were bestsellers and attracted mainstream, media attention for the Wii console back in like the late 2000s, early teens. And Super Mario Odyssey is just one of those games that I do feel that, like, even though the formula for Mario is pretty much stayed the same, with Mario being the main protagonist, Bowser being the main villain, and Peach being the damsel in distress, I do feel that for the past 30 years, Nintendo has taken that formula and they have somehow managed to adapt to, I guess, they managed to evolve. They managed to adapt to, like, I guess, what's going on in the world and try to implement some of that into, like, their games as time goes by, and yet make it work to a point where people are still interested in the Mario series. But this is mainly children and general audience, because everybody knows who Mario is and all that stuff. But I have no idea when we're going to get like a sequel or a spiritual successor to Super Mario Odyssey. If Nintendo was smart, they would probably wait to release like a Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a spiritual successor for the next gen game system, if they do come out with one. But I'm pretty sure they will. But I do feel that Super Mario Odyssey is just one of those games that it's going to be talked about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what have you. And I'm pretty sure that, like, during the 10-year anniversary following the release of Super Mario Odyssey, Nintendo will probably do something special with the Super Mario Odyssey game, like make a remake or a remaster of the game or do something like that. And And yeah, I mean, I feel like the Mario series is something that just gets better as time progresses. It's like the series ages like fine wine, similar to that of the Zelda series. And a lot of people are speculating that if Nintendo decides to come out with a Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a spiritual successor to Super Mario Odyssey, should Luigi be included in the game? I don't think Luigi needs to be included in, a potential sequel to this game because, like, Super Mario Odyssey was very popular without Luigi for the most part, and I do feel that Nintendo has been around long enough to a point where they can decipher what works and what doesn't work and what's going to be an attraction and an appealing to the casuals versus what's not going to be appealing to the casuals. And honestly, I do feel that Nintendo is going to come up with something that is going to work using the same formula with Mario, Peach, and Bowser, and it's something that is going to sell millions and millions of copies in terms of like sales and all that stuff. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what Nintendo's next gen game system is, because Nintendo Switch, it's one of the most successful game systems that they've had since the Wii console, which came out back in 2006. And I do feel that, Super Mario Odyssey is definitely going to be one of those games. It's probably the best 3D game that Nintendo has ever made, in my opinion, because a lot of the games from the 2000s were kind of just whatever. Like Super Mario Sunshine was popular, but it was kind of strange. And Super Mario Galaxy was good, mainly because of its soundtrack, but even then it kind of gets overlooked a lot. I do feel that Super Mario Odyssey is probably the best 3D game that Nintendo has released thus far that's not within the Mario Kart racing series. And I do feel that if Nintendo wants to make a better video game, that they'll probably just expand upon the strengths of Super Mario Odyssey and try to improve upon the weaknesses that was included in Super Mario Odyssey as well. But there's been no announcements or anything like that in relation to a Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a sequel to the game, because they have a lot of other stuff that they're working on. We're still waiting for the release of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which is supposed to be coming out sometime next year. And it might be a while before we get a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey, but by the time we get it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be well worth the wait once it's released.